episode of Lunch and Learn from Metal Coffee Shop. My name is Karen Edwards, and in today's episode, we're going to be learning all about Sherwin-Williams MetalVue program. And I am delighted to welcome the team behind the program. Junny, Brendan, Brandon, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Karen.
All right. Before we dive into the learning objectives for today, let's do some quick introductions. And Junny, let's start with you.
Sure. My name is Junny Lee. I've been with the Coil Division MetalVue team for about a year now. I've been with Sherwin-Williams for going on 11 years, and I am a member of our marketing team. Internally, I get to work with folks like Brendan, right? And then externally, I get to work with folks like Brandon. So it's a pretty cool setup. Get to work with some really, really awesome people.
Nice. Brendan, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Brendan McGinnis. I am the OEM Program Manager for the Sherwin-Williams MetalVue program. I've been with Sherwin for like 7-ish years now, most of which in an R&D chemistry capacity here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, but recently moved to the MetalVue program a couple years back, helping it grow.
Nice. And last but not least, Brandon.
All right, Karen. Well, my name is Brandon Miller. I am the CEO of Uplevel Digital. My background, I have done digital marketing about past 12 years only in the home remodeling space, working at a home remodeling company, working for agencies prior to starting Uplevel. So Uplevel, we focus on working with home services contractors, building out websites, SEO, running ad campaigns, bringing them lead opportunities that convert into appointments, but then also building out programs and software solutions that can help facilitate growth with a network such as Sherwin-Williams. So we've had the great fortune to work with the Sherwin team and excited to chat about what we're working on.
Nice. Okay. So by the end, we've got a couple of learning objectives. And by the end of the episode, we want you to have learned what the MetalVue program is, how the MetalVue contractor portal works, and third, how to get involved. So let's dive in. And who wants to take what is MetalVue? That's a big question.
Take that one. That one's one I get to answer a lot, and I've gotten pretty good at explaining in a robust yet concise manner. Basically, what MetalVue is a program that we have created for contractors to work with metal manufacturers in order to grow the residential re-roof market specifically for metal roofing. Going back a few years, Sherwin did a lot of research and looked into things and found that there are some tailwinds in this residential re-roof space for metal roofing, but not nearly enough, we think, based on how much of a better substrate, better product a metal roof actually is than your traditional asphalt roof. So what we've done is we've put together a set of tools, essentially, that you can reach into this toolbox and pull out whatever it is that you may need to help grow your business in the metal roofing space. The biggest tool that we offer is something called Roofing Passport. Roofing Passport allows you to get same-day material takeoffs for a metal roof, whether it be through an address with our partners at EagleView or through a blueprint, plan, or drawing through our partners at Roofing Works. So either of those avenues are something that you can utilize to get a same-day material takeoff for a metal roof so that you can get in there and sell that metal roof alongside asphalt instead of as an afterthought to asphalt or just taking an order for metal roof. Because historically speaking, that's what we've been doing, and we've seen a lot of really good growth and a lot of core market value through selling metal roofs that way. When the homeowner calls and just says, "Hey, I want a metal roof," great, but why can't we be out there with a metal roof quote alongside an asphalt quote with these first sales calls? So that Roofing Passport really allows us to be at the same speed in the sales cycle as an asphalt roof, but also there's a lot of different things else in that toolbox besides Roofing Passport. Biggest of which is the contractors portal, which Brandon's going to talk to us about today.
Yeah. So before we dive into the portal, I want to touch on that this program is backed by Sherwin-Williams and a little bit about the power of the Sherwin-Williams brand. And maybe Junny, you can speak to that since you're the marketing guy.
Oh, absolutely. And I think both Brendan and Brandon touched on it, right? Especially Brandon when he mentioned about Uplevel providing solutions, and with Brendan's explanation about MetalVue is that's really about us harnessing the brand of Sherwin-Williams. So if we go back a few years, right, with the acquisition of Valspar, very good in the coating space, Sherwin-Williams dominant in the paint side. It was a really compatible merger of two different sites. So utilizing the Sherwin network, right? We have countless thousands of stores, right? I think well over 5,000 stores if we're approaching that mark. But we also have production capabilities in nearly every region of the contiguous U.S. So you take that into account, our supply chain vertical integration. We have our own distribution centers. We have our own fleet. And so if there's a whole opportunity for us to really support this space, right? Especially any of our customers and the contractors they work with. And by partnering with companies like Uplevel Digital Services, then we're identifying industry leaders. That way we continue to support anyone who's a part of the Sherwin-Williams brand today.
Right. And I think it's important to mention as well that the tools that we're going to talk about and see will support both residential and commercial, right?
Very much so. And, residential re-roofing is where we decided to focus in the end of this market. But commercial roofing is a huge part of this as well. And that's kind of how we've grown and expanded this, especially within the roofing passport tool. Initially, we were just doing this with the Eagle views and residential address data, but we introduced the Roofing Works capability into the roofing passport tool for new builds and commercial structures, so that we can make this a bigger part of it. Because we know that historically speaking, commercial is very strong in the metal market, and what we want to do is continue to grow that and support that, while also focusing our efforts on the residential side.
Right. Yeah. And helping contractors who maybe only are offering asphalt, like you said, be able to present metal beside it. Okay. So how does the MetalVue contractor portal work? Brandon.
All right. Well, I think it's a good time to share my screen and then dive right into it. But just touching on what Brendan and Junny hit on, providing a full turnkey solution, so that way a contractor is able to get up and running, and really kind of reducing any reason to not say yes, like just making it super easy is the goal behind this. And over my background or tenure within the space here, I've had the privilege to work with lots of hundreds of different home remodeling companies, had exposure to different networks. And I always found that the networks that provided out-of-the-box solutions just to get a new dealer up and running are all so much more successful. And so that's what our focus is on in this space. Obviously, there's other tools that the Sherwin team has been working with, such as Roofing Passport, that we're able to integrate with. But not only just giving some software solutions in the centralized spot, but helping that dealer or that contractor be able to go out there and then start generating leads day one, because that's the key thing, right? If you are trying to sell metal roofs, you need to have opportunities to get out to the home. And with metal roofing, it's in a space to where homeowners, it's a small percentage even think about it, right? And when you are thinking about replacing your roof, if your site is not geared in order to be able to talk about the value behind metal, it's going to be very hard to be able to educate a homeowner on the benefits. And there's a ton of benefits, as we all know on this call here. And so having that site position, having good ad creatives, being able to go out and market, find people, educate them on the value of it. And then as Brandon mentioned, if you are offering asphalt and metal, well, then you have the opportunity to get in and either land and expand them, or be able to lead with metal, and then you still have an opportunity to be able to close the deal. So I'll share my screen and let's take a look here. All right. Am I sharing the right screen? I just want to make sure. All right. Can you guys see Sherwin Metal Roofs?
Yes.
So this is the front end of the software solution here. So what we've worked with the Sherwin team on is building out a website that is going to generate rankings across the United States to be able to be found when homeowners are actively searching for metal roofing, or additionally, educating them or going after the core legion keywords within the roofing space. So this allows us to get traffic coming to the site. When we have a contractor onboarded, we've got a profile set up for them in the back end. So that way, if a homeowner does fill out a project request form down here, we're able to send that lead directly to the contractor within that market instantaneously, and then also be able to push that directly into their CRM. So this is one avenue to where contractors are able to start getting leads out of the gate, and then also being able to stand up additional campaigns. But going back to leveraging the power of the Sherwin-Williams brand, when a homeowner comes to a site, where it is brand new with Sherwin-Williams and talking about metal roofing, it adds a big level of, authority and legitimacy to the project. So we'll be able to see very high conversion rates coming from this. So when a contractor does come on board, they're going to be invited here to what we're calling the MetalVue portal. And so inside, what they're going to be able to get access to is resources in order to be able to go out and market, be able to learn, to train. It's really everything you need to get started. You're able to see what kind of types or files we have here. So we've got images, we can find PDFs for just whether it's a one sheeter that you're able to use and rinse and repeat to be able to market with it, or it could be training documentation. Then we've also got some great video content in here from the team over at Grosso University on getting into the home and being able to sell the value of metal roofing. And then additionally, we'll be rolling out manufacturer-specific assets. And then what we'll have here is when they do sign up, they're going to go through a really great onboarding process that is powered by the team over at GiddyUp. They've got a great step-by-step instruction to make sure that they're fully ready to go. And then once you complete that onboarding, the contract will unlock all the resources inside of the portal. And then over time, what they're going to be able to do is they can come right into the portal. They're able to go and then they can see all of their leads that has been generated from any campaign through the site, through any ad campaigns. They're going to be able to order ad campaigns. And then coming very, very soon, they'll be able just to enable an AI call center to be able to book appointments directly for any leads coming through.
Wow. Okay. So this is the first time I'm seeing it, and it's really cool and exciting, especially because when what you just said there about ad campaigns, any ad campaign. So if they want to be running some Google display ads on their own and targeting certain areas, they can do that through this portal?
Absolutely. And so they're going to be able to come in, order a campaign. We like to think about it in terms of like a goal. So let's just say, over the next 30 days as a roofing company, I want to order 15 appointments or 15 demos. And so based on that, we're able to evaluate the market. We know the competitive level. We know the traffic costs that it's going to take to drive traffic to the site. And what we'll have here is a very good dynamic landing page stood up to where we're able to incorporate obviously the Sherwin brand, but then alongside of that, introduce who that contractor is who is running the ad campaigns. So it's very easy. It's kind of a couple clicks of a button that informs our system to be able to go ahead and stand that up, but then get going. And additionally, if you don't have all the resources on your active current website that talks about metal roofing, that's another great reason to leverage this here, because obviously this page or the landing page is going to be fully talking about the value behind it and educating around it. But then also we have solutions in place too, where if the contractor does want to have a new website for their brand that has a lot more metal theme or supporting their existing services, our company is able to actually build out a brand new 50-page website for their company within 24 hours and have them live within about a couple of days. So we're able to use technology and AI to be able to programmatically build that out, and we build it and scope it to the brand through some knowledge and some training. And I can chat a little bit further about that if we wanted to, but I know we're pressed on time. I can go on that for a very long run there.
That could be a whole nother episode, right? So I'm looking, we've got appointments. You said that's coming soon. Tell me a little bit about the integrations.
So this is where we're going to be able to sync right into any CRM. So, in the roofing space, there's CRMs like GiddyUp. We also have like AccuLinks, Job Nimbus, Job Progress. So whatever CRM the contractor is using, they're just going to be able to log right into the portal, apply basically input their credentials to be able to set up the integration, press sync, and then now we've got the connection to be able to flow it directly into the lead, right into their CRM. And that's a form fill. We can even do phone calls and pass that directly into their CRM as well. And then we'll be integrating more Sherwin partners directly into this section here to be able to allow the contractor to just enable that into their presence.
Okay. And so Brandon, your company is kind of powering a lot of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes in this portal.
Yeah, that's right. Our company has built out this portal. obviously the website, but is all in conjunction with the team at Sherwin. And then, leveraging the other partners in the space like Giddy Up to be able to make sure we've got a very good solution put together.
Right. Okay. Wow. This is a lot of powerful stuff that you guys have pulled together in one place that often, a contractor doesn't know where to go. I know I need to be generating more leads. I know I need to be doing some digital advertising. I know I need more education information on my site for homeowners. And that all of it is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very powerful. And there's not really a cost for a contractor to sign up and get started, right? Maybe we can dive into our third learning objective, which is how to get involved.
Getting involved is actually very, very easy, especially if you're already working with a metal manufacturer that sells Sherwin-Williams coated coils. But really, there are a couple of different ways to get involved, get in touch with me. Let me go ahead and share my screen now. So the first one we've got here, of course, Metal Coffee Shop. If you find the MetalVue page, find out more about MetalVue, it's going to take you directly to our website here. I would just tell you to go to industrial.sherwin-williams.com/NA/US/EN, but there's really no need to remember all that.
Right.
Go to Metal Coffee Shop, find our page, click the contact us. It's going to take you down to this page, fill it out, and it will direct you straight to me. This will end up right in my inbox. Conversely, go to Google MetalVue, METALVUE. Very first link that comes up, it's going to take you back to that same page. Just scroll to the bottom, fill out that thing, and we'll get you going. You're going to come to me. We're going to set up a demo. I'm going to show you a roof passport. We're going to talk about who you're buying metal from and your current metal manufacturer, or if you are a metal manufacturer, how to get involved in this and set up as a parent company within MetalVue. We're going to do all of that, and we're going to get you logged in and get you hooked up with all of this stuff. It's something that we are offering as Sherwin-Williams. We're offering to contractors for the first time. We've never dealt in this space before. As a coil coatings company, we only sell paint directly to coil coaters. So we're 3 or 4 steps down the value chain working here to push all the way up, right? We're working at the contractor level, who's working at the homeowner level to drive demand all the way up the value chain. And by doing this and utilizing this brand, Sherwin-Williams, that, if you go out on the street and ask 10 people to name a paint company, 9 of them are going to say Sherwin-Williams. If you ask 10 people to name a roof coating company, they're going to scratch their head and look at you. We need to be harnessing this brand that everyone is familiar with and everyone knows and trusts in this space, because we are a whole home solution company. Everything from concrete stains and sealants to the roofing on your home. We can take care of it all. We need to educate our contractors, who can then educate our homeowners. You can have that same trusted brand from the bottom of your house to the top of it.
Sure. Yeah. I think that a lot of homeowners probably aren't, they see, oh, it's a blue metal roof or it's a green metal roof or whatever the color is. They're not thinking about where did that color come from, right? And when they hear, oh, well, yeah, this is a coating by Sherwin-Williams, and then that instant credibility, as you said, is right there, because I agree with you. 9 out of 10 people would be able to say, yeah, Sherwin-Williams as a paint company, because of those 5,000 stores across more than 5,000 stores. And, just that brand recognition is so powerful.
I come from a very small town in South Central Kentucky called Russellville. There's not much there, but we do have a Walmart, a McDonald's, and a Sherwin-Williams store.
They're everywhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this was a quick high level look into it, but I want to be sure, you showed the list of manufacturers, and that people understand that these metal manufacturers are the ones that are using the Sherwin-Williams coatings to create the beautiful colors and patterns that are available out there in metal. And that's why it kind of starts with finding your manufacturer, and that's where that connection comes in. And yeah, you're shaking.
The difference is that we're such a big brand. There's nowhere in the United States or Canada that you can't find our stuff. We're literally working with people that sell 1 coil a year up to companies that sell thousands of coils a week. So, no matter where you are, we will find someone for you to work with and find a way for you to be out there selling metal roofs and making more with metal.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the tagline, make more with metal, because everybody wins, right? There's so many wonderful things about metal. There's so many benefits, as Brandon, you had mentioned earlier, so many reasons why, and to be able to offer that option just helps contractors be able to sell more. Excellent. Well, thank you all for being here today. I'm hoping that everyone watching this, please go to metalcoffeeshop.com, search in the search bar, MetalVue, METALVUE, and find them. Talk to Brendan. All right.
I'm anxiously awaiting your email.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here today on this Lunch and Learn. Be sure to, share this information with others in your office, encourage them to watch, and we hope to see you on a future episode.